Honey is one of the world's most faked foods. Fraudsters spike real legitimate honey with cheaper syrups made from rice, beets or corn to make it look like pure honey at half the price. It looks like honey, it tastes like honey, but it's actually syrup. How do you know which honey is real and which one is fake? In this video I'm going to take a look at the billion-dollar business of fake honey and tell you how you can get the real deal. Humans have been eating honey for thousands of years, and it's been valued for its high energy content, sweet taste, and certain immunomodulatory properties. While I personally don't like the taste of honey and I don't eat it, I understand that it's not just regular sugar and it has some health benefits. It's certainly healthier than the corn syrup or the rice syrup that it's mixed with. So how serious is it? How much fake honey is out there? In 2018, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency tested 240 honey samples and found that 21.7% of them were adulterated. In Australia, 27% of honey brands were also fake, but in the US, it's estimated to be up to 70%. A 2023 report by the European Commission found that 46% of the 147 honey samples tested were adulterated and mixed with other syrups. 74% of honey from China was adulterated, and 93% of honey from Turkey was adulterated. These two countries are the world's top two highest producers of honey, with Iran coming in third. Yet they're also the biggest fraudsters when it comes to selling adulterated honey. The problem is that Chinese honey gets laundered through other countries and sold to the EU and US. Cheap Chinese honey is taxed by the EU and the US. To sidestep that, Chinese merchants sell their honey to some third countries that aren't under tariffs, such as Thailand. Then that Chinese honey in Thailand is sold to the EU and the US. The label on the bottle will say honey from Thailand, but in reality it's from China. By doing that, they avoid hundreds of millions of dollars in shipping duties. So one immediate tip here is to buy honey from your local beekeepers that can't hide behind international shell companies or hop borders, and they're less likely to sell you honey that's 50% corn syrup. So how do you make sure that the honey you buy is real honey? The best method is to buy honey from your local beekeepers that you know and trust. There are also some methods used by researchers to detect adulterated honey. They involve more advanced light analysis and DNA barcoding. Unfortunately, these professional testing methods aren't possible at your home, and you can't just do it. There are also some at-home honey testing kits, but experts don't really recommend them because they're not very accurate. So the only reliable method is to buy honey from your local beekeepers, from your own country or your local state. Honey from regions with more regulations, such as Canada, the US and the European Union or Australia, is also generally pure, whereas honey from China, Turkey, Iran, etc. is more than likely mixed with other syrups. These countries are also able to produce honey very cheap, which drives your local beekeepers out of business. If the production cost for you is $2, but it's 10 cents for them, then you just can't compete even in your local market. So even if the local honey is more expensive, it's worth it to support your local businesses. And you're gonna be more certain that you're getting actual honey, not syrup. There are some other ways to detect fake honey. Read the labels. You'd be surprised to know that some honey bottles blatantly say that they're 50% syrup. Honey can crystallize and become solid, especially in the fridge. If your honey stays liquid like caramel, then it's probably syrup. Honey is also less sticky and more like a balm, whereas syrup is more gooey and sticky. Honey has a richer and more unique flavor, whereas syrup tastes like sugar. Many people worry about honey or just any amount of carbohydrates spiking their blood sugars and giving them diabetes, but that's not a real concern. What if I told you that your blood sugar response to a meal has less to do with how many carbohydrates you ate, and more so to do with your general insulin sensitivity, your muscle mass, your physical activity, and the time of the day? I made a video of me eating 300 grams of carbs in one meal, and my blood sugar stayed normal. Check out this video next to know how to improve your blood sugar response and insulin sensitivity.